Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the International Disc Golf Center in Appling, Georgia. We're right behind the tee of one of W.R. Jackson, round 3 of the PDGA Champions Cup, about to begin for our chase card in the FPO division. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by Nate Perkins. Nate, talk yesterday was a little bit of fear whether or not the rain was going to hit today. It's shaping up to be a pretty decent day so far.
Yeah, looks like to be just slight chance of rain in the next hour, but pretty clear after that. It's cooler today. It's about 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday. It's high 60s right now, but it's kind of sticky out here, pretty humid, and sometimes that can be a bigger issue than the heat even, as far as grip is concerned.
We've said about everything we can say about Kristin Tattar at this point, but she has a 5-stroke lead over Catrina Allen going into this round. Still only halfway through the tournament. I don't think 5 strokes truly is that big of a lead.
Yeah, it's really not. And Kristin is coming off of a drought of birdies. She hasn't birdied since hole 13, and she was kind of off her game from 14 to the end yesterday. And Catrina Allen was able to pick up 3 strokes on her. And Catrina, she's just 5 back, and she just has 1 bogey on the tournament. So she really hasn't been faced with a lot of adversity. It's just a matter of if she can get some birdies early and generate that pressure that Kristin hasn't seemed to face yet.
Doesn't seem like she's feeling it at all, and it seems like the two of them are just pressing in their own lanes. They're pressing against their own expectations, which is hard. It's hard to beat a player like that who's not reacting to what you're doing. And Catrina has said all week that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And a course like this, 1 hole can be 3, even 4 strokes at times. We watched Ben Callaway yesterday, 8 under par going into hole 17, most treacherous hole in the course, proceeds to take a triple bogey and drop down from the top 10 all the way down to the 20s. So just like that, if that same thing happens and then Catrina birdies, that's a 4-stroke swing right there. It's very, very possible that that could happen.
Yeah, it certainly is possible, and I think that that's something we're both going to be paying attention to today. Is Kristin hasn't even been close to bogeying, but she also hasn't been in a tough spot she's had to scramble out of. So I'm very interested to see, how and if her demeanor will change as soon as she finds herself off the fairway.
Well, it sounds like UDisc is pretty confident in Kristin. 94% win rate after the second round. How accurate do you think that percentage is for what the players still have to face?
Well, that's an algorithm based on her recent performances, and as Kristin said, there is no past and there's no future. There's only now, and 94% seems pretty high, considering she has someone who's won every tournament there is to win on her heels. So I'd put her at a better than 50% chance, but 90 seems pretty high.
We heard from Kristin after her round yesterday. Let's hear what she had to say.
I feel the need to birdie because of myself, not because of others. I just want to birdie because I know I'm capable of birdieing every hole, and I'm kind of like frustrated and sad how I ended my round by not getting any birdies. So yeah, it's not about me and the others. It's just me executing my game plan and my shots.
Well, you heard it. She's just playing in her own lane. She's just sticking with her game plan. She said it week after week. The one thing I have to say, though, is hole 1, final round at North Cove. Everyone thought it was a done deal. Mm-hmm. She proceeds to double bogey the first hole. Sarah Hokum puts the disc under the basket and proceeds to birdie, 3-stroke swing, and they move on to the next hole. Anything can happen out here, especially in the woods. You have to be on your game. We're going to kick it to a quick commercial break, and then after this, there's 3 other members of this lead card,
A lot of people say that Ed was the father of disc golf. Well, that's true. He did invent the basket. But Ed did another wonderful thing, probably his major accomplishment, was being the first person to realize that we had a sport on our hands, not just a toy.
In 1976, Steady Ed Hedrick founded the Professional Disc Golf Association with a dream of turning a flying plastic toy into a global sport. Since then, the PDGA, members, players, event directors, and volunteers have worked to realize that dream. From the very first baskets to courses around the world. And yet, it's only the beginning. We're looking to the horizon with even bigger dreams for tomorrow.
Kyle Klein stepping up for the birdie on 18.
Your Open champion, Gannon Burr.
Another record-setting weekend on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Back-to-back weeks. Winner coming from the chase card. Pretty special stuff. Gannon Burr, Kyle Klein, two young superstars on tour, showing you how to get it done.
Well, Catrina Allen is right on her heels and 5 strokes behind. Again, it feels big, but really on a course like this, it's not. Anything can happen. You mentioned yesterday that you think she might have to press. What exactly do you mean by press at a place like this?
Yeah, I think that there are some holes that Catrina might have been playing somewhat conservative going into the tournament, but halfway through the event you find yourself 5 back. If that lead extends any further, I think she's going to have to speed things up off the tee as far as, you know, biting off more distance and putting herself in a higher percentage chance to card the birdie on the hole.
Yeah, and I think the sentiment on this course is that second shots are made to be tougher. So yes, pressing means maybe trying to stretch out a little bit more distance within your own limits, obviously, because a bad kick can cost you so many strokes. You have to give respect to the course while also knowing what your capabilities are. And we've seen it before. Players say, I'm going to stick with my game plan the entire time, and then it comes down the stretch, we see a change of game plan. So when it comes down to the win here, you know Catrina does not care about second place. She wants to win, and that's it. So, yeah, if it gets to a point during the final round, she might have to do that. Today, I think she can very easily shoot double digits here if she just stays focused and just executes what she has already lined up. Her and Austin have been talking a lot about strategy throughout the week, and I think she's done a really good job within her game plan. We actually caught up with her after her round yesterday. Let's hear what she had to say.
I like my game plan. You know, I think the thing that Austin and I are doing so well is just like I get to a spot where I was yesterday and maybe I didn't throw the upshot great, or I threw a drive too low or too high, and we're just making those small adjustments. And I think if I each day try to improve a little bit on the round before, that will probably reflect on my score. But like I said, I don't know. When I'm playing my good golf, I'm not thinking about score or what other people are doing. I just get in my groove.
And it's so interesting to hear from veterans like Catrina and Kristen how they now act on the disc golf course because of all the years past and all the failures of the past, mentally and physically. Now we have Kat Mertsch on the other side on this lead card as well. And she mentioned yesterday she might have felt a little scared in a lot of these shots. She was second-guessing her game plan, going against it a lot of the times. And I think a player like her with so much talent, I think just needs to ride this wave.
Yeah, it's interesting because I could see that watching that lead card. I could see that she was playing a little timid on some of the shots, and the shots that she was bringing the confidence, it was clear. You could see it in her body language, and those were the holes where she committed with those Thunderbird flip-up shots, and those are the holes that she ended up carding a birdie. So I think she's self-aware of her playing a little cautious through the first 2 rounds. And I think that she's going to change that today.
There were a couple discs in her bag, like you mentioned. They were the fairway drivers that flew phenomenally for her. She was piercing some drives down the fairway. And then other discs that she'd pull out of her bag, it almost felt like she didn't quite know how they were going to finish. So I'm hoping that she looks back on her previous rounds, realizes what discs are feeling like kind of the joystick, so to speak, and leans on those a little bit more. And then, yes, approaching the greens, she was maybe a little tentative. We actually caught up with her after her round as well to give us a little bit more into what she's thinking.
What's it going to take tomorrow to get even more into the hunt and start tracking down Kristen? just go for it and quit being scared. There were a lot of shots where I felt like, oh, I could just pitch up with a sidearm instead of being like, okay, this is a putter backhand shot and I need to nail this shot right here, right now. I second-guessed myself, and I shouldn't do that. So I think just being more confident in my decisions on what I want to do on the fairway.
Easier said than done, and I think the fact that she's putting herself on a lead card back-to-back days at a major on a course like this is the experience she's going to need to then reflect and go back to this course next year with an even stronger mentality.
Yeah, I mean, the mentality's there, and, you know, the birdies are there, Brian. 6 birdies and an eagle. She just had 6 overstrokes, more overstrokes than any person in the top 10 even. So if Mertsch can clean those up, I think that she can close the gap today.
When she plays confident, she's as good as anybody out here, but that's the difference between her and the 2 players that she's having to chase, is they've been there and they've done that and they've failed so far forward that they are as mentally strong as they are now. Another player, just like Kat Mertsch, so much talent on this lead card, Haley King. We watched her throw some of the most impressive drives of the entire division this week. She's kind of a wild card right now. What do you think about her right now?
Well, I'm just so thankful that we have a healthy Haley King returning to competition. She's found her putt. Her putt looks great. She was, you know, the percentage wasn't quite there when you look at the stats, but the stroke was there. I mean, when she's looking confident from circle 2, like her putt, just the way that it rides in from 50 feet, it's a joy to watch. She looked great from circle 1, so I think if she continues to move up the fairway and give herself more putts, both circle 1 and circle 2, she can also close the gap.
I noticed the same thing. You know, you watched her over the years. Her putt has always been good. And it drops. When she's confident, it drops in the same sense as like a Ricky Wysocki, Isaac Robinson, some of the best putters in the history of the game. It just comes out, hits dead center with so much force, and it looks like she's not even trying. The problem with what she's doing right now is when she does get into some situations of adversity off the fairway, she's really struggled. Her scrambling rate was not good yesterday. When it was good, it was really good. When it was bad, she kind of struggled with getting up and down and saving those numbers. So she took some bogeys that she was really frustrated with yesterday. But she seemed like she had some good spirits once she left the course. And hopefully today she does clean up because, again, one of the most entertaining players to watch. After this quick commercial break, we're going to tease a little bit of MPO action, and we'll get right back to it.
An important part of getting a PDGA membership is helping grow the game. Membership dollars are used to bolster competition of all levels, from local C-tiers to majors. Tools like Digital Scorecard and Tournament Manager help events run seamlessly. Your PDGA membership also gives you access to Disc Golf Network coverage for select events and a 50% discount to their full coverage package. Help grow the sport and get started today. Visit pdga.com/join.
What makes the Halal Guys so deliciously different? You might have heard of our famously long cart lines that NYC fans happily stand in. Today, with over 100 plus restaurants across the globe, we are your place to experience authentic American halal. Enjoy our delicious falafel, Euro sandwich, platters, and sides topped with our famously flavorful white and hot sauces. Order online today and taste how we make different so delicious. The Halal Guys, bringing something deliciously different to the table.
Cool.
Welcome back. Quick teaser of our lead card for the MPO this afternoon. Isaac Robinson, Silas Schultz, Nicholas Antila, James Conrad. Same card as yesterday. They played fantastic, and they all seem to feed off of each other. We actually got some sound bites from all of these players. Let's take a look.
Talk about the pressure that you're feeling playing with these leaders day in and day out now here in Abilene. Yeah, it has been super nice. We had a great group of guys, all good friends of mine, and yeah, bogey and one. And after that, I was sailing pretty good.
I think I'm pretty much going to stick with my game plan. There's not really a hole on the course that I'm playing for par. I'm pretty much attacking every hole out there. Certain times, if I'm out of position after the tee shot, then at that point I'll try to make par. But I think I've done a good job of that. Only one bogey on the weekend so far, and like to keep that going. Stay aggressive and hopefully stay clean.
After round number 1, you were third. After round number 2, you are second. What is it going to take to get yourself into the lead?
I don't know, probably that again. But I don't know. I'm just kind of taking it one shot at a time. I just feel so blessed to be in this situation. Game plan for today was like a 7, but I think just lead card, got in the zone, got a lot of birdies, put them together, and I got some good luck too.
I'm just staying focused. I'm not letting the emotions kind of get ahead of myself. Just focus on keeping the fairways and playing each hole to the best that I can. And I think I did a good job of that today.
What's wild to hear is, especially from Silas Schultz, his goal was 7 under par. You listen to a lot of players throughout the week, they were thinking 32 under was going to be the winning score. 8 under par per round was going to be fantastic. And 8 under par was not even getting you in the top 5. So what do we make of this?
The course is getting torched, Brian. I mean, I don't think that 30 under par is going to even get you in the top 10, it looks like. And, I wanted to note that this lead card, they came off the course and they were all just kind of wide-eyed like, wow, that was a lot of fun. And we've said it before, but I can't remember the last time from round 1 to 2 at a major that the lead card stayed the same. So this card is having a ton of fun out there. They're matching each other's lines, and I can't wait to get out and watch the action firsthand.
The lead card has also stayed the same on the FPO side. We'll be seeing them coming up soon. We're going to take a quick commercial break. On the other side, chase card action, Holyn Handley nearly making the lead card. We'll talk to her, and we'll hear from her.
On the surface, Ledgestone is one of disc golf's leading retailers, but look a little closer and you'll find a group of motivated individuals providing the best possible service to the disc golf community. So whether you're building a bag, wanting to support your favorite pro, or looking to add to your disc golf wardrobe, choose Ledgestone.
All of us at Bushnell are excited to be here for the Champions Cup and very proud to have been a part of this since day one. We want to say thank you to the players and the fans for supporting the event and joining with us to push the sport forward.
My favorite flavor of Double G Craft Jerky, easy choice, the teriyaki. I love my sweet and I love my salty food. It's a great combination of both.
Got to go for the hot boom sauce to give you that extra kick.
Probably going to surprise a lot of you guys. My favorite flavor is actually the Sexy Sweet and Spicy. I find it to be one of the best jerkies I've ever had.
Him and Dana Vici.
Welcome back. Our chase card for the FPO division is going off soon, and someone we have to talk about who nearly made the lead card, Holyn Handley, could not keep it steady to finish the round. 17 and 18 just really went downhill for her. She didn't seem too phased.
Yeah, triple bogey finish. Tough to see because she was the one making the biggest push heading into the back nine, and we actually closing out Tournament Central yesterday. We saw Holyn making her way over to hole 17 just before the sunset to get some more reps in. So gotta love to see that.
It's nice to see because she's one of those players, just like Ella Hansen, who's going to be joining her on the chase card, who's making this big push to really legitimize the training aspect of disc golf. And They both bring really high-level sports experience. Again, Ella Hansen being on the U24 national team for Ultimate. So neither of those players are a slouch when it comes to preparing and making sure they're ready for competition. Holyn, I think, just needs to keep going. She needs to get this experience. She still just started playing disc golf a few years ago, so she's finally putting herself in the position to gain the psychological experience. She obviously has the physical game to take it down.
Yeah, she does, Brian. And, you know, it's interesting that Ella and Holyn are both two players that are kind of pushing the limits of what's possible in the FPO division, and they're also best friends. They hang out with each other, you know, all year, and they're playing board games with each other during the night. So it's just it's cool to see, and I think that they're going to be pushing each other on that chase card.
We actually heard from Holyn after her round as well. Let's take a look.
I think my putt was definitely better today. I think I was 100% inside the circle, so that definitely did it for me. And then obviously I bogeyed today, which I didn't do yesterday. But I mean, to go bogey free through 34 holes, I'm pretty happy with that. It was frustrating to have back-to-back the same mistake, but I kind of remind myself, like, you're going to have over par strokes in a tournament, especially over 2 rounds. I just happen to have all of mine back-to-back. And it's really no different score-wise than if I had spread those out over the other 34 holes.
Two more players joining them on the chase card, Own and Hannah. Kind of opposite play styles here. We talked about Own a little bit yesterday. We talked about Hannah a little bit yesterday. Do you feel like they're making the proper adjustments to keep pushing at this course?
Yeah, I mean, Own had, you know, those 2 3-putts in round 1 that really prevented her from being on the lead card. She actually had another roll away yesterday, and it's not something we're used to seeing, is her missing putts and her costing herself 2 strokes. But, you know, Hannah definitely made the adjustment on the putting green yesterday. So if she can continue to find that confidence on those like 15 to 22 footers, she's definitely throwing the disc well enough to close the gap.
What's interesting about the way she plays disc golf in general is she throws with some of the fastest release speed in the FPO division, if not the fastest right now. Mm-hmm. When you're playing in the woods, the harder you kick a tree, the harder you're going to kick. It's a pretty dangerous, live on the edge style of golf to play out here, but somehow she's putting together some fantastic rounds. Just not quite there to get to the top, but I think, like you said, if the short game cleans up, kind of the opposite for Own, she could jump to this lead card. There's 2 rounds left at this course.
Yeah, a lot of golf left, and I think that, you know, Hannah being on this card, like, if you're on Own's card, I feel like you just become a better putter, don't you?
You kind of do. You get pushed at least, and the problem, though, depends on how you psychologically react to getting big putted, because her Circle 2 stats are better than most players' Circle 2 stats. She rarely misses inside the circle. You just assume that she's going to make everything, and maybe that tightens your focus, and maybe it kind of scares you a little bit. If you miss a couple, you start to feel like you're really falling behind. With that said, we are going to wrap things up today for Tournament Central. We have a lot of FPO action coming up, and in the afternoon, MPO as well. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here by Nate Perkins. We're going to sign off. We'll see you out there on the course.
Show up. Stay a while.
Join the Paul Macbeth Foundation's Builders Club to help bring sustainable disc golf experiences to people and communities around the world. For a small monthly donation, you can help us make a real impact. Your donation will go directly to making a difference. By becoming a monthly subscriber, you'll also receive exclusive updates on our work, special offers, and discounts. So join us today and make a difference with the Paul Macbeth Foundation. Together we can make a big impact, one small donation at a time.
There are your leaders. Kristen Tatar, 5-stroke lead over Catrina Allen. A lot of disc golf coming up. Round 3 about to begin for your chase and lead card. We'll see you next time.